both of your legs, and then we will eat your face right off your head.
Venom is a 1 in a million alien, or at least he wishes he was. The once apex predator is surrounded by cutthroat villains, and we're talking about his family. Carnage isn't the only of his brood he needs to worry about. In the past 35 years, Venom and symbiote kind have evolved to become hefty characters within the MCU. Venom was showcased in the Marvel movie Venom in 2018, and the upcoming Venom There Be Carnage slated for release in 2021. But what's the pecking order, or perhaps more accurately, the punching order inside the Klyntar family tree? Well, you can relax, because we've got the breakdown handled.
If one person deserves this more than him, it's you!
Clothes make the man. And in Venom's case, the suit takes the man, or woman, or anything else he comes in contact with. Venom was the first to infect the MCU in the pages of the Spider-Man Secret War comic series back in 1984. Since then, Venom has spawned a motley brood of monsters. So, Venom would be the reigning king, right? Nope. So it goes, the symbiote offspring constantly evolved to be stronger, faster, and more malevolent than dear old Pops. Although Venom's dominance is stunted, he's still a formidable force. Venom's merging with Eddie Brock transferred Spider-Man's powers to him and gave him a substantial advantage over the Webhead, and S.H.I.E.L.D. rated Venom as a threat on par with Magneto, Doctor Doom, and Red Skull. Noting that Venom has played the part of anti-hero who's teamed up with MCU heroes, but I wouldn't trust Venom as far as I couldn't throw him. Venom's counterpart, Anti-Venom, is officially Venom's brother. The villainous Mr. Negative, aka Martin Lee, treated Eddie Brock's terminal cancer, and in the process, Lee's magical sauce reactivated residual Venom cells and created Anti-Venom. His white and black appearance isn't the only difference. The ensuing mutation within Brock's white cells bequeathed him remarkable healing powers, augmented strength, resilience to sonic and heat attacks, painful and even lethal touch inflicted on other symbiotes, and he wasn't in control of his host, so Eddie Brock was in full control of the symbiote, which can be either a pro or a con, depending on Brock's sometimes dubious decision-making, all of which make him a symbiote to steer clear of. But his weakness relegates him to the bottom of the list. Overuse of his abilities will quickly drain his strength, leaving him open to punishing retaliation. We've seen Riot in action in 2018's MCU blockbuster Venom, and we've gleaned that Venom's diluted offspring can hold his own in a rumble. Riot was spawned during the Life Foundation's attempt to clone Venom via 5 seeds the Foundation extracted from the seminal symbiote. Riot's monstrous frame, brutal slugging style of fighting, and the assortment of cutting and pummeling tools that he can manifest on his hulking arms ought to scare man and symbiote alike. Like the time he clobbered Carnage in Colorado. When Riot merged with the mercenary Trevor Cole, Spider-Man and Venom tag-teamed Riot and incarcerated him in the vault. Well, this moniker says it all. The hybrid is the union of the symbiotes Agony, Riot, Phage, and Lasher. After Scream, their sister killed their hosts. The disembodied siblings decided to form the hybrid symbiote. This union bestowed Hybrid with some impressive powers. Hybrid's strength outstriped many other singular symbiotes, while having access to the Four's individual assets. Unparalleled camouflage abilities make him damn near impossible to track. Hybrid's main setback was too much chatter. The 4 symbiotes could vocalize their disagreements telepathically, and that was a huge problem for their host, Scott Washington. Hell hath no fury like a Scream scorned. And if you end up on Scream's wrath-soaked radar, well, you're screwed, buddy. Imagine being her sister. And as we mentioned, Scream offed her siblings' hosts and tried to implicate their murders on Eddie Brock. She's absolutely unscrupulous. Now, I ain't no shrink, but Scream's choice of host leaves a lot to be desired. The fiery redhead, Donna Diego, was prone to psychotic, even schizophrenic episodes, and her psychosis rubbed off on Scream. When the symbiote is joined with Diego, Scream can hoist 35 tons, and her flowing symbiotic locks can transform into arms and fists, making hand-to-hair combat particularly dangerous. Carnage's child and the 3rd symbiote to appear in the Spider-Man series raised Carnage's eyebrows, and not in a good way because he vowed to return and sacrifice Toxin for the threat that he posed. This concern was also shared by Venom. Toxin's rejection from his dad and his granddad seemed to dull his killer instinct. Patrick Mulligan, his NYPD host, gave Toxin a new lease on life. even though Mulligan's was already in turmoil. You see, Mulligan stumbled across Carnage, giving birth to Toxin, and one of New York's finest became the host for Toxin. In time, Toxin and Mulligan reached an agreement. Toxin more than matches Venom's and Carnage's might, but he grew a conscience in the meantime. Mulligan surmised that Toxin couldn't live without a host. Toxin, you see, even fights on the side of good, once he apprehended Razorfist to vindicate the death of Mulligan's father. Ghost Rider's spirit of vengeance fuels his demonic yet noble vendettas, especially in Marvel Comics' Venom series entitled Circle of Four in 2012. Blackheart plots to unleash hell on Las Vegas and the entire planet. Venom decides to float an alliance with Red Hulk, Agent Venom, and Ghost Rider in one symbiote. With a concise name, Red Hulk Ghost Rider Venom. The symbiote has been heralded as possibly the deadliest character in the MCU. Well, he looks badass enough. And his catchphrase, "We are Smash Format Gents," is worthy of our props. Bestowed with each individual hero's strength, Red Hulk, Ghost Rider, and Venom defeated Blackheart, and hell itself was shut down. Venom's first son is a handful and then some. Carnage is more powerful and sadistic than his dad and has bested Spider-Man on more than one occasion. That's why among the symbiotes, Carnage is usually thought to be the king of the hill. When he joined with the serial killer Cletus Cassidy in prison, their psychological profiles hit it off like gangbusters. Carnage is a tough mother. Cletus Cassidy will be played by the one and only Woody Harrelson in 2020's much-anticipated MCU release, Venom: Let There Be Carnage. And with a natural-born killer as Carnage's host, yeah, the carnage will be extreme. Keep your wits and your heads about you when you're dealing with ZZXZ, because ZZXZ feasts on brains. The Shi'ar Empire branded him as one of the 5 deadliest villains in the Marvel Universe, and imprisoned him on the prison planet Kirkin. Decan Nuramani performed experiments on ZZXZ, and after Decan's death, the symbiote was locked away in solitary confinement. Lockup is the safest place for it. Wherever you have this thing captured, just keep it there. We kind of like our brains inside our noggins, thanks. As ancient as the universe, Knull tops our list. He is the progenitor of the Klyntar species, and somehow the symbiotes are or were peaceful aliens, but Knull bred the virtue out of them. Instead, Knull pimped them out for his own dirty work. Try saying no to an omnipotent god. Devastating civilizations like the mighty Celestials is short work for someone of Knull's stature. Beheading a Celestial is unheard of in the Marvel Universe, but Knull did it. Not one symbiote can defeat Knull. Not Venom, not Carnage, not any of them. Knull is the nexus of the symbiote hive mind, and even though their overlord lost the reins, they must be collectively relieved. Yeah, best to let this top dog lie. Family? Yeah, it's tough. And what's tougher is deciding which symbiotes did or didn't make the list. Do you think other symbiotes should have been ranked? Sound off in the comments section below. Be sure to subscribe to stay current on all upcoming ScreenRant videos, and give us a thumbs up.